the vintage variety. I have another necklace repair to show you guys today. Hopefully you guys like this kind of content. I really enjoy doing this. I like showing the before and after and giving you all ideas of how you can salvage vintage broken pieces of jewelry. This is a beautiful Art Deco necklace. I got this necklace from Dana Stewart over at Killer Queen Antiques. I purchased this from her in a lot of craftware and repair jewelry. I have a couple of different ideas of how I'm going to repair this. You can see that it is broken. This necklace, if I put a clasp on it, it would not be large enough to make a choker. It has lots of beautiful glass focal beads, and then it has these round milk glass beads on it. My thoughts for this necklace is to, of course, repair it. And I'm thinking instead of making one necklace, I'm going to turn this into two separate necklaces. I believe that the original necklace probably had a lot of these focal beads, and I just don't have all of those anymore. I have about 9 focal beads left on this necklace, along with some of the original round milk glass beads. So my thoughts are to divide these focal beads up, use some milk glass beads that I already have here, and create 2 different necklaces. I'm not going to do a step-by-step. I have done step-by-step repair videos in the past. Instead, what I'm going to do is I am going to show you all of the materials and tools that I'm going to use. I'll tell you kind of what my idea is for putting this necklace back together and turning it into 2 separate necklaces. And I will explain all of the different techniques. Then I will stop recording. I will finish the necklaces and I'll come back and I'll let you guys see what I did and how the necklaces ended up looking. Here's another quick look at this necklace without it being on the beading board, and as you can see, it is a very short little piece, but still lots of beautiful beads here to work with. I did measure this, and around the neck, if I were to put a clasp on it, it would only fit maybe a 5-inch neck, but I think I can make this wearable once again. I want to show you guys what all I'm going to be using today. I am going to be using gold tone jewelry wire. This is a copper wire. I have 2 different rolls here. One of them is a very stiff wire. It's 18 gauge, and the other one is 22 gauge wire, and it's a lot softer and more flexible. One thing about this is you want the wire to be able to fit through the beads, of course. So the 22 gauge wire is going to fit easily, and it's going to be a lot easier to work with. I do want the wire to be stiff enough that it's going to be able to hold the weight of all the beads. So I do have a tip. I showed this last time. You can harden this softer wire just by pinching it between your fingers, and you're going to run it through your fingers several times or as many times as you need to, and you'll notice that this hardens the wire a little bit. It starts to get stiffer and stiffer as you go. So that is what I'm going to do with this wire. I'm also going to be using some jewelry tools. I'll need wire cutters for cutting the wire. I'm going to use this handy little tool, and I have shown this before. This is a wire looping tool, so that will make the loops on the end of my wire that I'll use to connect the pieces. And then I'm going to be using some flat nose jewelry pliers and some round nose jewelry pliers. Just in case you guys didn't see this in previous content that I've done, I do want to show you how this wire looping tool works. So I am going to put wire through beads and make loops so that I can hook them together to form the necklace. That's how the original necklace was made. I'm going to go ahead and put the bead on the wire. I'm going to insert the wire through the tool, and I'm going to give it a squeeze. It will cut off the end of the wire, and it creates a loop, a perfectly sized loop. You'll notice that the loop is slightly open, and that's great because I'm going to link the beads together. Once I get them linked together, I'll go back with my round nose pliers and I'll close the loop up. For the other end of the bead, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut the wire, leaving myself enough wire to work with, put it back through the looper, and squeeze it again to make the second loop. For those of you that are interested, if you are looking for this product online, I would put in jewelry wire looping tool, and it should pop right up for you. This one is 1.5 millimeters, but they do come in different sizes if you want to make larger loops. Of course, I am going to be using some milk glass beads to add to this necklace strand. I purchased these beads from Found Treasures by Jean, and I will leave a link to both Jean and Dana's channel in the description box below this video. When I'm repairing a necklace, I always try to use supplies that I already have on hand. I've often said if you run across a craft jewelry bag or maybe some broken pieces in a jewelry jar, it's a good idea to save those for your crafting supplies, because when you're repairing old jewelry and you have to go online to places like Etsy and eBay to source your beads and your parts, it can become really expensive. So I always try to save pieces or buy them when I run across them and keep them on hand for this type of a repair. One thing I will tell you guys, these beads are not going to be the exact size as what's on the necklace. I have quite a few of the larger milk glass beads, and then I have a few of these tiny ones. The beads that are on the necklace kind of falls in between those two sizes, but I believe once I put all the pieces together that it's going to look okay. I'll also be using a spring ring clasp for the closure on the necklaces. These are new, but they're the same as what would have been used during the era that this necklace was originally made. I want to show you guys one more look at this piece of a necklace. I want you to see the construction of it. All of the beads have wire through them. They've been looped on the ends, and that is what connects all of the pieces. I'm guessing that originally this necklace had lots of the focal beads in the front of it. Then it had sections with about 5 or 6 milk glass beads and then another focal bead, and that made up the entire necklace. I'm not sure how long it was. I'm guessing it was a relatively long necklace. I don't even know if it had a clasp or not. What I'm going to do is I am going to make 2 necklaces, and I'm going to make them a shorter length, more of a princess length, because I think that these beads are just beautiful and you want to wear them so that they can be seen. Another thing that I wanted to mention is anytime I'm making a necklace and I'm putting focal beads into the necklace, I like to use an odd number. I just think it makes the piece a lot more eye-catching and interesting. But I'm not going to be able to do that this time because I do want to use up all of the focal beads. So one necklace is probably going to have about 5 of these focal beads and the other one 4. I did think about putting long intervals of round milk glass beads in between the focal beads, and I think that would look okay. I'm just going to figure it out as I go, and we'll see how the necklaces turn out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop recording. It's probably going to take me a couple of days to construct the necklaces, but when I get them finished, I'll come back and I'll show you what they look like. It did end up taking me a couple of days to construct these 2 necklaces, but I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. I do want to show you guys what I did on both of the necklaces. The first necklace, I used 5 of those really pretty colorful beads, and in between the beads, I used some of the beads that I had from Jean, along with some of the smaller round beads that were left on the original necklace. And I just kind of spaced those out until I got to the ends, and then I just used regular milk glass beads linked together. On the other necklace, I did something a little different. I used 4 of the focal beads, and then you can see here where I put 3 beads together on 1 wire just to mix it up and give the necklace a little bit of a different look, and I did that at intervals throughout the necklace. I did want to show you guys what these necklaces look like on the necklace stand, and please stay till the end of the content because I do have a small announcement to make. First of all, I like the length of the necklaces. They are a little bit longer, or maybe they are a princess length. These lay right beneath my collarbones, and I think that's perfect because the beads in these necklaces are so beautiful that I want them to be worn so that the beads are noticeable and can be seen. The only thing that I don't like, or the only regret that I have, is the necklace on the right. I don't like the way the front of it looks. So at this point, I'm thinking I may very well go back and redo the necklace. I may disperse the focal beads a little further out by adding more milk glass beads in between them. I also wanted to give you guys a heads up. There may be a Saturday that I do not have content up. And if that's the case, don't be alarmed. I will try to put a community post up letting you guys know ahead of time. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And I also wanted to remind you guys, don't forget to go over and check out Dana's channel, Killer Queen Antiques, for some fabulously stunning jewelry. And Found Treasures by Jean. Jean is full of surprises, and you never know what kind of items she's going to have. You guys let me know in the comments what you think of these necklaces. Is there anything you would have done differently? Would you redo one of the necklaces? Or would you have made just one necklace instead of two? I always enjoy hearing from you. If you enjoyed today's content, please remember to give me a thumbs up. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to share this project with me. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Ring the bell for notifications, and you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.